Hello and welcome to Tips and Tricks by Base Beacon. In today's quick tutorial, I'm going to show you how to model a modern floating staircase in less than 5 minutes. So let's go. So what you want to do is to come to your top view and you just want to draw a single profile of your staircase. So I just want mine to be 1.2 meters wide, and I want my thread to be 300. And I'm just going to close that and close the other side. I'm just going to come there, and then I'm just going to push and pull that by 50. And what I'm going to do is make that a group, and I'm going to create a duplicate of this, and I'm going to raise it up by 170, push that back up until there, and I'm going to create copies of that, and then I'm going to set it there, and then I'm going to multiply that by 9. Now we have our staircase, and then I just wanted to turn and go the other way up, so like a dog leg type staircase. So what I'm going to do with this one is, so that's 300, I'm going to add 700 to make it a meter wide, and then I'm just going to pull this again by, so we're going to have a 50 millimeter gap, so it was 1.2, so it's going to be 1.250. And now what I want to do is to come and select all of these, and let's make this a group. And then what I'm going to do is copy that group, paste it there, and then I'm going to rotate it by 180 degrees. So I'm just going to find the center there it is, and then I rotate that by 180 degrees, and then let me just push that up by 170. Cool. There we have our staircases floating. So now what we can do is add an anchoring element. So what I'm going to do is just draw a rectangle somewhere here, and then I'm just going to use a typical 305 by 102 I-beam as my structure that's going to hold up my stairs. So I want that to be 305. So I'm just going to copy that. Let's make that, let's say it's 6 millimeters thick. Let's try that again. Yeah, 6. And let's do the same that side and the bottom. So raise that up by 6. Just going to draw my center line and then offset that. Okay, let's just move it by 3. Do the same for that side, move it by 3, and we can delete all of these lines in the internal spaces, and we can just simply close our ends there. Do the same at the top, so one there, and now I have our profile. So before we bring our profile, what I'm going to do is come here at the center of my stairs, just draw a line that goes all the way up there, up until there. Maybe let's just do that up until it hits that surface, and then I want it to run along. So what I'm doing right now is creating the profile, or rather the path where I want my steel structure to run. So I want it to come to the center there, and then it's going to return and do that. And from there, it's going to go all the way to the center there. So that's where it's going to run. So now I can simply just come and copy this profile. Copy. And then I just place it at the bottom of my stair there. And now I can just triple click that line and deselect this. Let's try that again. Triple click that line and deselect all of this, because that's the element we want to use to follow that path. And now I can click the follow me tool, and there we go. We have our steel running all the way like that to support our staircase. So I'm just going to double click that, make it a group, and then I'm going to come into that and just reverse the faces. I like my faces reversed, And there we go, we have our staircase. And then we probably could add a balustrade. So this is what I'm going to do for my balustrades. I'm going to draw a line that goes all the way up there. Then I'm just going to have it continue something like that. Maybe it goes flat there. Then let's just take it from this side. It's going to run like that from there, and then all the way down to that one. And then let's say it does something like that. Let's take it down again, maybe up until that point. Yeah. And then it does something. This is a bit tricky because I want this line and that line to be on the same level. So I'm just going to do this for now and then do that. And then let's just see if those lines intersect. Yes, they do. So there we have the path of our balustrade. All right. So now we can create the profile. So again, I'm going to draw a rectangle and I'm just going to do that. So let's make it 1 meter high. Okay, it's more or less there. I'm just going to use freehand instead of putting in the measurements. So let's say that's about right. Let's just take that, move that in. Let's delete this one. And let's say I just want it to be circled. Actually, let's do that. I'm going to take the circle and scale it, stretch it, do something like that. And then I'm going to have something like that. Just going to copy that. And let's do that. Copy it. Times 4. Times 6. Yeah, that's fine. Now I'm going to triple click on this line and then just deselect everything here. And just make sure you also select that. Now I'm going to click the follow me tool. And there we go. We have a balustrade. And now what we just simply need to do is clean it up. I'm going to delete all of those extra lines. Come up here, do the same. Delete all of that and all of that. So I could keep that as the base, but it's going to look ugly. There's a steel element on my stair, so I'm going to delete it. And you can already see the structure coming together. So there's a bit of a geometry misalignment there, but it's good enough for a quick staircase with the detailed balustrades. You can see the detail in this structure. So now it's just a matter of cleaning up these excess lines here and there, and you have yourself a floating modern looking staircase. And let's just clean that. And again, you could go into that and just reverse the faces. Same thing there. Same thing there. Again. And the reason why I do this is because when you start rendering or applying materials, if you have your faces facing the wrong way, it could affect how the renders look. So that's why I like my faces reversed to show the white on the exterior side. And there we go. And we can delete that. There we go. I know I said 5 minutes, but it took a bit longer. But there we go. We have our modern looking staircase with a steel structure underneath it for support and a nice looking balustrade. See you in the next one.